Nowadays, we don't like the idea of things falling apart. So we insure everything. Our health, our homes, our cars, our appliances, even our phones. But when something breaks, we often discover the tiny print. Not everything is covered, and sometimes we're out of warranty, we're out of luck. It's a gentle reminder that no matter how much we try to secure our lives, true security can only be found in God, the one who never fails, never expires, whose coverage of love and grace has no fine print. In today's gospel, Jesus looks at the most sacred structure the disciples could imagine, the temple, and says, the days will come when not one stone will be left upon another. There's none. The temple wasn't just a building. It was their identity, their belief, their security. Imagine Jesus saying to you, everything you rely on, everything you think is solid, will one day crumble. The disciples asked, when? But Jesus doesn't give a date. He gives a direction. Do not be terrified. By your perseverance, you will secure your lives. He doesn't offer escape. He offers endurance. That's the heart of today's gospel. Not predicting when things collapse, but trusting the one who holds us when they do. Jesus isn't just talking about the temple that was destroyed in 70 AD. He's also talking about our temples today. The things we build our lives around. Careers, health, relationships, reputation, even our carefully laid plans. All of it can collapse. What happens when those temples stumble? When the job we thought we'd retire from disappears? When the relationship we thought would never end suddenly does? Or even when the Wi-Fi goes out and we say things we don't say in church. We plan, we organize, we schedule. And we panic when life doesn't go according to plan. But sometimes, God allows the Wi-Fi of our soul to disconnect. Not to punish us, but to remind us that faith isn't about constant connection. It's about constant trust. As often attributed to St. Augustine, whether in his words or spirit, God does not promise we won't suffer, but he does promise never to abandon us in our suffering. Jesus is clear. There will be wars, disasters, betrayals, trials. His promise is not that life will be easy. His promise is that he will be with us through it all. Let me share something personal. My family broke apart when I was 13. It was painful. My parents carried wounds that shaped their choices. While their pain doesn't excuse their actions, it helped me understand that brokenness can be passed on through generations, and only God's grace can break that cycle. Even in that collapse, God was faithful. He brought healing, mercy, and even gratitude. That pain shaped both my compassion and resilience. I stand here now, though my temple collapsed, because by God's grace, I chose to rise from its ashes. God built me a bigger home than I ever imagined. My wife, my children, my extended circle, and you, my community. So if your temple crumbles, don't panic. God is in control. Don't ask why me. Ask, what now, Lord? That's when faith deepens and new life begins. Jesus says, by your perseverance, you will secure your lives. And that's our call. To keep trusting, to keep showing up, to keep praying even when it feels dry, and to let go even when it's hard. To choose love, even if the world says, don't bother. So here's the challenge this week. First, practice small acts of endurance. Try smiling while driving. Be kind when annoyed. This train our hearts for bigger trials. Second, pray not just for success, but for wisdom. Like King Solomon's prayer, Lord, give me an understanding heart. Third, anchor yourself in Jesus' words. When worry creeps in, repeat these words. Do not be afraid. Let these words, as real as the person right next to you, be louder than your worries. And let's remember, some temples collapse harder than others. For the poor, the displaced, the forgotten, life can feel like a house the builder keeps abandoning. Catholic social teaching reminds us that endurance must include solidarity. We're not called to survive alone. We're called to lift each other as we go. It's the gospel in action. So tomorrow morning, before reaching for your phone, say, or pray for the grace to let go of any worldly temple. Say, Lord, whatever comes apart today, let my faith stand strong. Because even when the temple crumbles, God's presence remains. He is not found only in what's standing. He is also found in what's broken. I've lived it. My temple collapsed, but in the rubble, God was building something better. It was a gift, born of brokenness, one that transformed me profoundly. A very wise parishioner wrote that our certainty doesn't rest on the physical temple of God, but on the God of the temple. So when your temple comes down, don't be afraid. Trust and be reminded that Jesus is our sure foundation.